Hey guys, this is Johnny Gomez here from Team Metamorphosis, and he's going to show off his hero deck profile right now.
Alright, gonna start off with the monsters. One Stratos, the main searcher of the deck. Triple Alias, Gemini, and I take in one Bowman. I really don't like more than one, just because I don't like Bubble Beat. But Bowman is for the main sack factor. Plus you can use it for those quick rank 4s. I really like it. Double Thunder King. This card stops a lot of meta decks right now. Stops Mermails, it stops heroes, it stops those decks that like to search out, like to special a lot, and plus he's a 19 beater. Double Beast King Barbaros, just because I main 2 Skill Drain. I like him because he has the potential to go into 3000, and right now under Skill Drain, a 3000 beater is pretty hard to get over, so I really like him. One Evocator Chevalier. I like him over Crusader Vendemion just because he's a fire, so it gives you the opportunity to go into Nova Master, and plus it makes the Rhoda not dead. So that's the monster count. Only run 10 monsters. Onto the spells. Double Duality. It adds consistency in the deck. 2 is good. Usually you end up normal summoning Stratos and then searching and then activating Power Duality, because this deck doesn't really special a lot. Triple Miracle. This card needs to be played at 3. Any lower, you don't really see it enough. And sometimes people think that extra copies in your hand, one extra copy in your hand is dead, but you can always save it for later in the game and use it.
It's a trump card. That's exactly what it is.
Double Super Poly, just because right now Super Poly isn't dead. There's a fusion card for any attribute.
Super Poly is what keeps this deck alive, I think.
Yeah, it's really good. But I don't like it at 3 just because it's a -1. You have to discard, so 2 is really good. The Searchers, Double E-Call and a Rhoda, just to thin out your deck and get those elemental heroes in your hand. Double Gemspark. I think 3 Gemspark is a little too much for me now, because sometimes it does end up being dead. 2 really, it's a trump. You summon Aelith and then bottomless it, and you chain Gemspark. So they minus, so I really like it, and then plus you draw. Instead of the other Gemspark, I run 1 MST because it's removal. Right now with the uprising of Fire Fist, you chain MST to their searching card, they don't get a search. So I really like it. Dark Hole, Book of Moon, Monster Reborn, and Heavy Storm. Staples really can't function without these 3 cards, and Book of Moon is just a tech. That's it for the spells. Onto the traps. Solemn Brigade. A lot of people don't play the Solemn Brigade just because they don't like paying life points. But Solemns, they've won games for me. It stops your opponent from going off, so I really like it. Along with Bottomless, these are the standard removal. The opponent can't get their plays off, and if you stop them in mid play, and they really don't have outs. Mass removal, I have Torrential Tribute. In heroes, you really don't care if your field is full or if it's not, because most of them are really floaters. You can clear your field. You can Torrential with a Stratos and an Alias, and next turn just Miracle, or you can Torrential with a Shining on field and get your stuff back. So it's a really good card. 2 skill drain, just because right now the uprising of Inzectors and Fire Fist and Wind-Ups, they need to activate their effects in order to get stuff off. So Skill Drain is a really good card right now, I think. Deep Prison, Mirror Force.
I only play 1 Deep Prison.
I couldn't find room for the other one. Some people are starting to cut out Mirror Force, but I think Mirror Force is really good. It's basically the same thing as Deep Prison. They can't negate it unless they have a Dark Bribe or something, or a Stardust, but even then it gets rid of their shit. So I think it's the same thing. If I were to find room for the second Deep Prison, I would cut out a Hero Blast. But right now, Hero Blast is really good for me because all the Fire Fists and all the Inzectors are less than 19, and you get your Alias back. 1 Compulse. I might try to find room for a second one just because Compulse is really good. Gets rid of their Zen-mains, gets rid of the Gotchi, and it's a really good card. And you run so many traps, you need a Starlight Road just to set all your shit. So that's over the traps. I won't show my side deck just because I feel that your side deck should be made to revolve around like your locals or what you usually play against. I mean, if your locals is really competitive, then you should make it competitive. But if your locals is fun, you should like fuck around. You should play like side into Dark Magician or side into something random, just for the shits and giggles. For the extra deck, 2 Shining. You don't need 3 because they recycle, and 2 is good. Nova Master. Right now, you take their Logia with Super Poly. You take their their Bear or whatever with Super Poly. You get Nova Master. I might find room for a second one just because I run 2 Super Poly, and a lot of the meta right now is Fire, so I might find room for another one. 1 Absolute Zero, 1 Escuridao, 1 Great Tornado, and 1 Gaia. Right now, these are the only fusions that I run. The 1 for each attribute. So, yeah. For the Exceeds, I run 1 Excalibur. This card is usually my bait card. I usually go into him and expect them to bottomless or warning, and then if they do get rid of it, I just go into Miracle Fusion and get out my fusion monster. 1 Blade Armor Ninja just for those quick OTKs. This deck actually does have OTK ability with the Bulbaman, the random Bulbaman, and the Miracles. So this card's really good. And since you don't play Bumblebee, only 1's needed. Got a Cowboy for the extra 800 burn. And it's also the attack boost or whatever. It actually gets over problem cards, so it's really good. My Stroke. This card is really good if you want to keep a board on the field or you want to get rid of like a Thunder King or something like that. You just book it and attack over it. Papler Operative, because I don't run Black Ship of Corn. I run this to get over those Reapers or those those Marshmallows and hit them for a game. Abyss Dweller, just because Murmels, this really kills Murmels. You summon this, and at standby phase, you activate effect. They're stunned pretty much for the whole turn. All they can do is activate Diva. So this card's really good. Gemini Pearl, because it's a 26 beater under skill drain without any setbacks. So a 26 beater is pretty good. And finally, 1 Stardust just for the Starlight Road. That's pretty much it.
Why don't you run Utopia?
I feel that Utopia ends up sometimes being dead over under skill drain, and Utopia is a defensive card, and I feel that this deck needs to be offensive in order to be somewhat competitive towards the meta. That's why I don't run Utopia.
Alright, for sure. Alright, well, this is Team Metamorphosis signing out.